FTW Broadcasting here. We bring you hot League of Legends action. My name is MBD, and with me as always is our Chief Science Officer, Dr. the King of Town. King of Town, how are you doing today?
I am doing excellent as always. I would like to welcome all our viewers. We're going to give you another try-hard game. This is a ranked, arranged team. Or no, solo queue.
Yes, it is a ranked duo. As you can see, you are playing Ashe again, and I am playing Lux. Now, can we expect to see a number of missed arrows like last time from you?
I don't remember, to be perfectly honest. We played this game a little while ago, before the patch came out, actually. So, I don't actually remember if we won or lost this game either.
Yeah, I don't remember. This game was probably a little bit ago. As you can see, very unorthodox teams probably from both teams here. You don't see Redican very often. You don't see Malphite all the time. So I think this game, from what I remember, was pretty fun. And I think, as you can see, we do not have a jungle. I don't recall if they had a jungle or not. I'm not sure if Redican was jungling. So that's another unexpected thing. So I kind of like that. I like the mid, kind of low mid elo that we're in. You don't see the same thing every game.
No, generally you have people who want to play champions because they like them, and so you will see a lot of infrequently chosen champions at high elos played in these games, which I think adds some variety and is very nice.
Right, and there you saw Ken was asking who was going mid, and no one responded to him, which was classic for our elo. We just went to our own lanes. It looks like he's going to take mid, and you're going to take the top with Nasus. I believe our original plan was for you and I to go bottom, but Poppy immediately jumped on the bottom, so we just kind of rolled with it. A lot of the time you just kind of have to roll with what your team wants to do, because it's better if your team is fighting, you pretty much have no chance to win.
No, that's true. It's better to have less than ideal circumstances and still be working with your team than it is to be trying to be a maverick and go off by yourself. There are very few champions who can really do that well, and those are generally very difficult to play champions, so you don't see that very often. Yeah,
and I was actually playing a game just earlier today where our ranked teammate was raging so hard right from the get-go, just constantly talking about elo hell. And in my experience, when people talk about elo hell, it's because they are not as good as they think they are. And is there a scientific reason for why people just assume that they're better than they are and that they are stuck in some sort of elo hell?
Well, of course, people don't want to look at themselves as the cause of their own troubles. They look for external sources in order to validate themselves.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And we saw me and Poppy were in the bush there. I ended up light binding Redican as we bounced off. I don't know why we were kind of hanging out there. There wasn't much we could have dealt with. As you see, this TF and this Redican, I'm remembering this game now, they are very, very aggressive, and they are just trying to own that bush and really keep us zoning us out, so they're doing a really nice job there. But in the end, I think we're doing a good job. We're staying back. We're just trying to get our last hits off here. Oh, and Poppy gets gold carded and held. I get a pretty nice light binding off there. I like Lux a lot. You don't see her that often. She's not super great. She doesn't support as well as the other supports, and she doesn't nuke as well as the other AP, so she's kind of in the middle, which is a little odd. What is your experience with Lux as compared to the other support champions?
Well, for Lux, it seems to be kind of difficult for Lux to find her role. She doesn't, I don't know, she's one of those characters that does a couple of things kind of well, but if you really want to excel in any one of those categories, there's somebody better to pick.
Yeah, and that is always a problem. I'm going to take a peek up here at what's going on with Nasus and you. As I keep popping back because I just remember there's so much action as Redican tries to get Poppy again. There was so much action in the bottom lane. They were just super hyper aggressive, and a lot of times the hyper aggressive can be good, but more often than not, I see the hyper aggressive players, if they don't get those initial kills, they end up just being more of a detriment to themselves.
Well, yeah, they end up setting themselves behind by trying to trade kills and failing, or getting kited, or any of a number of reasons. It's very easy to overextend and make yourself vulnerable to the gank when you're being hyper aggressive. You know, their goal here is to try and push us against the tower to make it harder for us to farm, which is good, but now they're so far up, if anybody were to come through the jungle, it would never know. Of course, we don't have a jungler this game, so it's less of a factor, but yeah, they're still making themselves vulnerable to a gank.
Yes, absolutely. And this is very, very odd. There is no jungler on either team. You never see this in the upper elos. You will only see it in the elo we're at. Poppy's forcing to back up as I've basically been spamming that light binding like crazy. That's one of the things I do like about Lux is her light binding can hit 2 people, and I think that's just a really cool mechanic. It's a little kind of Morgana on steroids there. It does not do as much damage, but it's with the right setup, it can be very effective. And they are really pushing you up against the tower too. I guess the top was as aggressive as bottom this game.
Oh yeah, if I remember correctly, they did a good bit of tower diving. So once they hit 6, you should probably keep an eye on this lane.
Alright, I'll make sure to do that. We have actually managed to push off of our tower a little bit here. I remember I was actually preferring being up on the tower with 2 aggressive guys like here. As TF blocks the gold card and immediately comes running in, he changes his mind and goes for the last hit there. All quiet on the front here at 5. I have no big deal there. You see me get gold carded. I'm just gonna, no big deal. They can't really follow up on it. And peeking back up here, Malphite and Nursicali. That's a very, very popular skin, Nursicali. Oddly enough, I see that skin as being cosplayed more than her normal skin. I assume that's probably because the nurse outfit's easy to come by.
That's probably one of the reasons.
What would be the other reasons?
I don't know. Is our show rated PG-13?
Sorta.
Alright, maybe we better leave that one for Mom and Dad.
Okay, fair enough. We'll leave that one to your imaginations and your Googling with the safe Google search off. Don't turn turn safe search off. There are things you can't unsee if you do that.
This is true. The internet is a harsh mistress.
It is. I do love it in that way that it frightens me.
Well, we are attracted to things that we're a little frightened of. It's human nature.
It is human nature, and you are a doctor, so you understand that. We see Malzahar getting chased by Kennen here. He does get stunned, and he does grab first blood. Malzahar went all crazy looking, all like yellow and purple there. That was kind of a cool look. I think it's just the replay being weird. Another thing, come on Riot, hook us up with that replay feature. I know you're working hard. I'm not trying to rage at you like everyone on the forums is. I know you're working hard, but hook us up with spectator mode at least.
Yeah, at least with spectator mode, we might be able to jury-rig some kind of system where we get to see the whole game.
Yes, exactly. So hopefully we know they're working hard. They're not twiddling their thumbs over there and deciding not to give us these features just so they can give us more champions, despite what you may read on the forums. So we are with you. I thought what we saw on DreamHack was really impressive, though, and I would be willing to just take that, bugs and all.
I agree. People on the forums, however, just like to rage in general. There's nothing you could ever do to make those people happy. So,
and speaking of that, Doctor, is there a scientific reason for that?
Well, most of them are 14 and going through puberty, I would imagine.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
Raging hormones will do that to a person. I'm sure you remember.
I try not to, but yes. I probably would have raged pretty hard if I played this game when I was that age.
Puberty is the reason I will not be having children.
That's the only reason?
Well, yeah, it's the biggest one.
The biggest one. It's not lack of a lady to put your seed in. That was gross.
No, that's not really an issue. I'm a doctor.
You're a doctor. You're a busy man. You don't have time. You're a doctor and a professor and a king. I mean, you just don't have time.
No, I got stuff going on.
I understand. And we see you and Nasus are dealing with Malphite and Akali up here. They're being very aggressive. I don't know what level you guys are. I don't know what's going on. I see looks like you've got a pot going. I mean, what are you seeing? What's going on up there?
We're level 5 up here. I think they're going to ding 6 a little before us. They've been able to zone us out a couple times and make life really difficult up here. Neither of us have really been farming very well. Nasus better than I have, but still, it's been rough going pretty much all the way around.
Oh, it does look, if we take the creep kills, you're looking at about 23, Nasus at about 20. Not terrible. Our mid is doing 32. Both mids are probably a little bit behind, actually. So I think your farms have been pretty okay for this elo and for being zoned out.
Yeah, typically though with these range carries, you like to be able to farm much faster than that. It's really important. Carries are so item dependent. You have to farm. You know, if you can get kills, that's great, but most important thing for you to do is to be able to get some items so that you can actually be effective in the mid and late game.
Yeah. Exactly, and it's interesting. It's the game pace is a little different when there is not a jungler. If there's not a jungler, it's harder to get ganks off, and when there are no ganks, it's just a kind of a laning phase here. We only have, as you see, we're about 9 minutes in the game, and there is only 1 kill, and there hasn't even been okay, here we go.
2 kills.
Oh, there was 2 kills. We see Kennen, and Kennen does get killed as he gets ganked by Redican. We did call the MIA. TF is now 6. The replay system kind of screwed me there a little bit, as I was blue pilling home, and it took me to look at myself as I was trying to watch what was happening to Malzahar and Kennen. But it looks like he just kind of grabbed him, and then Redican came in. And I don't know exactly what happened to you. Do you know?
He got blown up. That's all there was to it. You
Yeah.
know, between the two of them, they have more than enough CC to prevent him from ever going anywhere.
Yeah, and we lose our turret. I show up just a couple seconds too late. Nothing I could really do. And I'm just going to stay back here and be very, very careful. As we're watching, Nasus popped his ultimate. He's chasing Akali. I see you. You're now trying to get her. Can you take this over here?
Well, what happened was, Malphite hit me with his slow. Now Redican has come in to join the party. Really, it's gotten very bad for us. I'm in a lot of trouble. I don't have a lot of health, and they have more than enough CC on their team to just blow me up. And here it goes. I am dead without being able to do anything.
Wow, that's not really what I'm seeing right here. I see myself miss my ultimate terribly. You're running, Redican's chasing you. Redican does have you, chops you up real good. Me and Nasus managed to take down Redican as I'm running around. My skill shots are not quite up to par right here. I missed that ultimate earlier, which was a terrible ultimate. Here comes Kennen though with the ultimate and the stun, and followed by the double slow, and that's the end of him. So I'm actually at about 10:55 if you're behind or ahead.
Somewhat ahead of you.
That's what I gathered as you said you died, because you did die just a couple seconds later. So if you could just maybe pause for a second, and we can catch back up as Kennen is trying to deal with these. Me and Nasus head back. I'm now looking. I've gotten a second Dorn's Ring, which is usually what I get with Lux. I tend to find even that I have severe mana issues with her.
I find stacking 2 Dorms is nice in general. Early game, you get, not so much, I've never seen anybody stack shields, but especially blades and rings. That extra damage, that extra AP can oftentimes make it a lot easier to last hit, so it makes it a lot easier to farm, and it can also make it so that your harass is much more effective. So, you know, I see that pretty frequently suggested in a lot of builds and a lot of guides, and a lot of times that's a strategy I'll employ too, because it can be very effective early, and really help you get a lot of early kills and just get ahead in the money department.
Yeah, and I agree. It's definitely something you should look into. It should never be a set in stone part of your build to get 2 or 3 Dorans, because if you're farming really well and you're getting a lot of kills, you might not need it. If you're having trouble in the lane, and you normally don't get it, it can be worth it to grab it. And that little extra HP, a lot of people have been saying that 3 Dorans rings for the money, it's almost like a little mini Rod of Ages.
Yeah, just about. And 3 Dorn's blades, I mean, the 30 damage for 1200, oh, here we go. Oh, I'm getting towered over in the top. Instantly, just destroyed between all those ultimates. My ally can do nothing. Everybody gets away. They don't even really get hurt that bad, considering the fact that they just dove me.
Yeah, and Akali just pops her pot, and she's going to be right up. She's running the revolver build. I am not very familiar with Akali. I've tried to play her once or twice, and boy, am I awful with her, but in the hands of the right player, she can really be obnoxious. As we see, Kennen has come in to dive. I've TF trying to use his ultimate away. No good there. Our Kennen is now doing very well with 4-1, so he could easily carry us to victory there. As we see, he's now trying to deal with Malzahar in the river, as me and Poppy pretty much ignore that's happening and farm away like good teammates.
Well, yeah, just let Kennen deal with it. He's been doing well so far. He can just kill everybody and get super fed. It's fine.
Yeah, clearly we weren't paying any attention. I finally see him, and I did the light binding, forcing him back, and me and Poppy are forced to head back after not doing much damage on that tower. So while we are up in kills, we are down in turrets by 1, so not the best situation to be in. We need to get a turret soon. Not only turrets are good for that global gold, but that first turret really can help you control the map, and having the turret there really lets you feel safe in farming, and as soon as you lose all your turrets, it can be a very, very difficult situation, especially if you lose all your turrets and they still have all theirs.
Well, exactly. Then it forces all of the action basically onto the side of the map that has the fewest turrets. Because the enemy team can get really aggressive up there. They can run around in these woods, they can take all your jungle, they can steal your buffs, they can just come out of nowhere while you're traveling between lanes and gank the crap out of you. So, yeah, you definitely want to be at least tied with turrets, but preferably ahead.
Yep, and I'm looking at your build here. It looks like you got Boots of Swiftness and a Cloak of Agility. Clearly, you're having some issues farming this game. There's a boom. Nice, actually, pretty much a perfect arrow. Stunning Redican right at the tower. He gets tower hit. Unfortunately for Poppy, he's... he is going to get away. TF dives a little bit too much. I actually hit him with my ultimate in a flash there, and you finish him off. So that almost looked impressive on our part. Almost. Not entirely.
It's almost like we knew what we were doing.
Almost. I mean, even a blind squirrel gets a nut every now and then, right?
True. The beautiful thing was that Poppy actually made it out alive, so, everything went better than expected. Always nice to shut down those two jerks. They can be really, really annoying, so when you can put them down, it's always satisfying.
Yes, definitely. And he says, nice job, Ash Bottom. I didn't get any love. I don't know. I was totally there, but that's fine. Oh, you see I hit Redican with the light binding right as he teleports in. Beautiful timing that only a pro could pull off. You see what I did there?
Only a pro.
Only a pro. Yeah, I certainly just wasn't guessing. But that's okay.
Nope.
Looking back top, Nasus and Kennen are now dealing with the top. Looks like Malzahar or Akali and Malphite are there causing all kinds of havoc as you and I are trying to deal with Redican down here. Boom! Point blank arrow there. He's zapping at you. I miss with my ultimate. Just terrible. He zaps in. I do get him bound. Basically, we have a nice combo here. We can really kite like crazy with your slow and my bind, and we end up killing him despite my noob ultimate. I think this might be my game of missed ultimates as opposed to last game, which was yours.
Well, yeah, I think I was just showing you how to do it, and here you're just demonstrating the principles that I've taught you. So,
right.
Keep on going. Someday you can achieve greatness and be absolutely ineffective for your team all the time.
Hopefully. Nasus is running away. He's going to get TF'd there. That's the end of him. Unfortunately, looks like it was another tower dive up top. They're just super aggressive. Malphite and Akali, pretty damn good tower divers, actually, with Malphite being super tanky and Akali with her shroud and her dash.
Malphite's ultimate on the turret is just devastating, even if you're right next to the turret. The fact that he can ultimate in, Akali can follow right behind, they can both just burst you down, and you're dead before you get a chance to do anything. Your ally can't even help you. It's devastating.
Yeah, I really like Malphite. I think he's a lot of fun. I don't know why he's not used very often. I guess someone like an Amumu is a better tank. Amumu can certainly jungle more, but Amumu's always banned, so I don't know why we don't see more Malphite. But then again, he just doesn't. He is not as good as, say, an Alistar.
Well, no, and even though Alistar got nerfed recently,
oh, there's a missed arrow.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for.
I threaded the needle there. That one wasn't my fault. I shot that if you were to have looked from over by our lizard. So
yeah. I mean, that was actually a really good shot. It was just unfortunate. And they're forced. It looks like they're not gonna back up. That TF really should back up. That Kennen could dive in on him, but I assume, yeah, that's what he's trying to bait us there. And look at that nice clairvoyance by me. It's almost like I know what I'm doing every now and then. I don't run clairvoyance enough. Every time I run it, I'm glad I run it, but I almost never run it. So I should learn something. It is a useful spell. You hate to be responsible for it and to have it, but it is really useful, and somebody on the team should have it.
Well, something very noob on my part that I would like to point out. I have used my Hawk Shot exactly once, despite the fact that it has a 0 mana cost. And there's really no reason not to. So that's something that I definitely need to work on. That's basically a free clairvoyance. You can just check out the bush. If you're unsure, you can just check out all the bushes along the way. Make sure the coast is clear. Really prevent a lot of ganks. But so far, I have not used it.
I think this is the time where I was trying to kill the Golem and failing miserably at it, and I ran out of mana and had to run away. I'm going to not focus on that happening, but I will say that it did, and I am noob. Oh, and there's some nastiness coming up the river there. And just kind of a lucky clairvoyance. I couldn't see anybody. I guess that they would be in the middle, and I peeked at them, but now there are 4 top, and our team is gathering up here. Oh, that's unfortunate for Poppy as he runs right into Malphite. Gets him at the wall, kind of nukes him down. Akali comes in, boom, nice arrow. Oh, focusing on Akali. She can't really get out. You get hit by Malzahar, but in the end, he gets burst down. TF gets burst down, and Akali gets away. There was a hawk shot.
Oh yeah, there it goes. 2. I've used it twice.
There you go. There you go. Right after Akali was long, he was long gone at that point. But it's A for effort, I guess. A for effort.
Better to use it for nothing than not use it at all.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure. Do you got any math or science to back that up, Doctor?
Well, I would say that if you just randomly use it from time to time in random areas, you've got a greater chance of spotting an enemy doing something surprising than if you never use it at all.
And by chance, you mean you're greater than 0, I guess.
Exactly.
So, okay.
If you never use it, the odds are exactly 0. And if you use it at all, the odds are at least somewhat greater than 0. Even only marginally. You
don't know what they are, but they are greater. X is greater than 0 in that case.
Exactly.
Yes. But probably less than 100.
Here I'd like to point out that I'm running in and out of this fight. I've had the chance to run away and save myself and potentially be able to spam a few moves to help my allies about 3 times. I should have been out of there a long time ago.
Yeah, you guys really wanted that tower, and you did get the tower, but you didn't bail out afterwards. Meanwhile, I was actually back at the golem trying to redeem myself after that terrible the terrible situation. Now I'm going to try and go mid and take out that turret as we lose our top. And they are still all staying up there. I've got to know. I'm watching them. I'm clairvoyancing down there towards the way. Unfortunately, Lux is not a super great tower pusher. She can, once you get a decent amount of AP, she can one-shot those back minions. But in the end, I'm forced to back up as they come down. And boom! There's a nice arrow on TF as Kennen comes rolling in and stun. And bam, double kill. Beautiful.
That is what a good team will do with Ashe, and that, as you mentioned in our podcast, is why she got the nerf. Any good team will jump on that arrow as soon as you use it, and with combinations like this Akali can burst everybody down, or I'm sorry, this Kennen can burst everybody down. Hoppy's not bad herself. I can support. So, all in all, it's real easy to take down just a big group of otherwise pretty scary-looking squishies.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just that it's that chaining those stuns that's just devastating. As you saw, you stunned him with the arrow. Kennen came in. He was able to basically do his full combo before they could even do anything. And before they could do anything, I mean they couldn't do anything. And I catch Redican jungle, and nothing we can really do about it. Just taking a peek around. And we still do not have a lot of towers. We have 1 tower against 3, so we are kind of in a rough situation. We have to push, but we haven't been able to find a good time to do it.
No, a team fight. After a team fight, if we could win a nice team fight, we could take a tower, maybe 2. You know, so us sticking together here, there's 4 of us together, I like that. You know, Kennen has been really good about being in the right spot at the right time and being able to come in the middle or towards the end of a team fight and either wreck them or at least clean up. So, hopefully that's what we'll see in the store here, but there's no telling. You notice they've disappeared from the map too, so it's a big game of cat and mouse right now. What I don't like is that we're splitting up here. I feel like this is dumb. And we do this a lot, but this is something you should avoid. If you're running around as a gang squad, stick together, especially with the TF. If I were off by myself fighting a neutral creep, you could just come in behind me with a gold card locked and burst me down to nothing. So, bad idea to be by yourself. Bad idea even to be in pairs at this point.
Right, and as we saw, TF basically had to use his ultimate to see where we are. Everybody's all around. One thing we are not seeing this game, which we should be seeing, is there are no wards, and I blame myself as the support, or I should at least be grabbing some wards. I haven't grabbed any this game, I don't think.
I've put a couple down. I was doing very poorly in the top, so usually if I'm the carry and I'm doing poorly, and I'm not going to be able to do my job mid-game, I will at least buy some wards to try and help my team out. And hopefully, you know, be able to farm my way back up and be able to come back and be useful later. But, you know, if you're not being as effective as you need to be, maybe it's worth the investment for your team to just drop 200 gold on a set of wards and drop them around the map.
Yeah, that's true. And there are arguments to be made that the carry should never have to buy wards, but in a solo queue, you can't exactly rely on your teammates. I mean, you could ask. I find if you ask, a lot of times they will buy wards. Well, not a lot of times. I bet it's about 50-50 if you ask. But it goes again with that, like you said earlier. It's certainly better than if you don't ask. Better than 0,
exactly.
right?
your chances are greater than 0. And 50-50 is actually pretty good, considering how many jerks like to solo queue for their own personal glory, even though that works out so poorly so often.
Yeah, you definitely there's very little 5v1ing in LOL as opposed to Dota. Yeah, Poppy says we need wards. I was just talking about how we needed wards. I think I probably go back and buy some at this point, hopefully. Or Nasus has got some. There you go. Good tank. He's got a pink top for putting at the Dragon or Baron. Something I didn't think about for the longest time was buying that pink top vision ward and putting it at the Dragon or Baron. And the purpose of that is to catch their own. And here we have a team fight here. I catch them with my little with my slow there. And Nasus goes in to initiate, and then he changes his mind because we're kind of dancing around. We're not just trying to decide whether we want to do it. Really, both teams should have decided that this was not a good time to fight, and they have. They're slowing down. TF gets slowed by Nasus, which is a great slow, huge Q. Gets taken down by Kennen. We see you and Poppy are chasing Malphite here. He has to flash into the Baron. There goes an arrow. Oh, and that's a big miss. Unfortunately,
big whiff there.
As you can see, the three of us chasing Akali, you want to kind of split up around her shroud and make it so she's got nowhere to exit. Unfortunately, Poppy there is in rough shape on Malzahar's ultimate. Unfortunately, we just turn around on Malzahar, and he does survive using his. Poppy does survive using his ultimate. I was just standing around, dancing around most of that team fight. I missed you. You got taken out by Redican there. Just chased.
It was the ultra long rundown, killed in the jungle, about parallel with our first tower here. Now he's trying to blue pill away in the bushes. He had to know that wasn't going to work, but he didn't really have any other options, I guess.
He could have gone down this way, or he could have just gone straight into the base and suicide. But he clearly, I wonder if he just didn't see my clairvoyance and didn't realize he could be seen. That's probably what happens.
Possible. That would be unfortunate.
Yeah. Unfortunate indeed. And then it looks like we're going to try and finally push and get this middle tower. Taking a peek. It looks like they are all back up, though, so it's probably not going to work out very well for us. And we're going to have to back up again. Mal, don't help Akali anymore. What's that mean?
They're upset that their Malzahar was feeding.
Oh, I know what they're saying. Our Poppy is talking garbage and telling their Malphite not to help their Akali, because their Akali, apparently they think their Akali's bad. So we're having to run away, doing some nice kiting there. And that's the end. I think I'm going to end up and get my needlessly large rod. I was a little slow in my farming this game. And Lux, she needs a bit of farm. For our support, she needs a bit of farm, mostly because she wanted to also be an AP burster. Which is what makes her such a weird character. But she is a lot of fun. I recommend her. I like her a lot just for pure fun factor.
I think one of the reasons we've all been pretty slow on our farm is because everybody needs it, so everybody's been competing for it. It's much harder when there's 4 people that really are item dependent and need a lot of farm, all vying for essentially the same money.
Yeah. You are more important in your team. Our Poppy, I don't know why he decided he felt like talking to Malphite and letting Malphite know that he was more important than Akali. Whatever. I've never been a big fan of talking any kind of trash. I don't know if he would consider that trash talk or not. It was more confusing than anything.
I have to say I don't mind the occasional good-natured ribbing, provided your opposing team has been talking to you anyway and you're on friendly terms. That doesn't bother me. I do dislike the sort of distasteful trash talk that does tend to go on from time to time. Anybody who's way in the lead and starts talking trash, that's just the sign of somebody who has no class.
Yeah, exactly. No class. And there's a thing about, sportsmanship is can be almost non-existent online, and I hate to see that. I love to see good sportsmanship, and like you said, good-natured is the key word there, and you just don't see it very often, as you and I are grabbing the lizard. And Kennen is chasing down TF there. TF, he's got the sort of divine for whatever reason, and he gets stunned. Oh, nice ultimate there, hitting Redican, who was trying to save TF. Unfortunately, that's going to be the end of Redican. He's popping his ultimate. And unfortunately, a little terrible brother-on-brother death there as Nasus takes out Redican.
Yeah, just too much for them to deal with. Wasn't going to happen, unfortunately for them. I would like to say, back on your point about sportsmanship, a lot of times I'm pleased with how good-natured some of the players are, so to say that there is no good sportsmanship online, I would say it's more prevalent than people realize. There are a lot of griefers, but I believe that they are sort of, and there are a lot of jerks, but I believe like they are the loud minority, if you will.
The loud minority. Okay, I will go with that. I would say particularly in LOL, there's actually the large percentage of your players are the quiet players who just don't even say anything.
Yeah, that's very true. And I wonder how much of that is a language barrier, and I wonder how much of that is just not wanting to get involved with any kind of drama.
Yeah, I'm not much of a talker when I'm playing online. I will say things like I will say general things people are missing. We should go do this. We should go do that. But as far as just having a little chit chat, I'm not a huge on that.
I find it depends. There was somebody in one of our games one time at the very beginning gave a little pep talk about how no matter what happens, if we just stay positive and work together as a team, then we can win. And you know, just that initial bit of, hey everybody, let's be cool with each other and try and win this game, really caused our team to work together, even though a lot of our own teammates were, you know, pretty quiet. And we wound up winning that game despite a really rough early start. So
right. I agree with that. I'm just going to kind of jump in here. As we were taking that dragon, there was almost a team fight bouncing in. I don't know what the other team was doing. They kind of wanted to come in and disrupt our dragon, but they really couldn't. So it was kind of a nice job of blocking them off, getting the dragon, then rolling out. So we want to... Initiation is so important, and you really want to control the team fight and control positioning, and that's one of the things I've been trying to improve on constantly, and we haven't quite gotten there where we can be in the right position all the time, but it does make all the difference.
Well, it's a bit different for every champion, and especially with 5 champions on a team, it's a bit like herding cats. It's really difficult to get everybody to be in the right place at the right time, especially when a lot of times it requires patience. You have to sit in a bush for a minute, and people get antsy. They want to go farm. They want to make money. They want to work towards their item build. But a lot of times, if you just hang out quietly, in a bush, and wait, you'll get the perfect opportunity to absolutely wreck 1 or 2 of them, and that can be more than enough to give you the momentum to be able to go take a tower or the the dragon or something. So
yeah. And you made the little shh sound. That's one of my favorite things when we'll be on vent and playing a game and we're all sitting in the bush. We'll all just be like, shh, be quiet, be quiet. I don't know why that just amuses me to no end.
No, it amuses the hell out of me too, and I don't really get it, but...
And we have Poppy's trying to deal with Mauser. He's ulted him. Oh, huge Q. The Poppy's Q when he's got his ult on someone just is a devastating amount of damage.
Yes, it's absolutely absurd. We really have a pretty good team here. We've got a couple of nice tanky DPSs that can hang out in front, do a ton of damage, and soak up a bunch of it. We've got our cannon, who's carried us a couple times, just absolutely wrecks face.
And he's rolling in here. He's rolling in on that Redican. He needs to back up as TF comes in with his gold card locked and loaded. What we're doing here is I don't agree with what we're doing here, even though we're doing it. We need to just back up. This is bad positioning. We're in the lane. We're going to get kind of ganked on one end. There goes my ultimate. Redican does go down. TF does go down. So that did work out really well, but I did not. You can't say that initiation was great for us.
I hope you saw I pro skill shot the Akali when she went invisible and got a kill. It was absolutely devastating.
I'm sure it was on the screen. I didn't take note of it though.
Yeah, go back and look. She goes invisible.
Boom! There's
my W. Managed to kill her.
So you're telling me you pro skill shot her with your giant arc that takes up most of the screen?
It was pro. Shut up.
Okay. Boom. We get ulted, and so what? There's no one really to follow up on it, so we can't really take that tower. We're gonna have to back up. But
that's
in the
okay.
end,
But one thing to remember: you don't have to go FTW on these towers. That damage has been done, and it's never going to be undone. So even though we took out over half its health, so anytime we get a decent chance to push, even if it's for not very long, we may very well be able to take that tower down.
That's true. Every little bit counts. It adds up. It is not like the Nexus towers. The Nexus towers do regen. They are the only ones that regen. So if we take a peek at that tower, it is about halfway done. So that means, yeah, you're right. That means less time we have to spend on it next time. But we still haven't taken. We need to start pushing this bottom because we still haven't taken that tower. That'll give us solid map control there and put us ahead. We're even on towers, but that'll definitely put us ahead if we can get that one. As Poppy is trying to do it, but Malphite is here to stop him, and Poppy's gonna back up because I'm sure Malphite is not alone.
No, and TF could be anywhere at any time. So. You really don't. Oh, here we have Nasus offering to drop wards, just asking where you want them. That is always great.
Very nice for a tank. You see, he's got 5 total. He's got some great tank items. He's doing a really good job tanking here. I've been very pleased with his Nasus overall.
Yeah, he's been doing an excellent job being in the business when he needs to be, giving everybody grief, making it so they can't just ignore him, which gives you and I the opportunity to come in and, actually stick around in the fight for a second or two.
Yep. And then there's Kennen coming in, tearing that up. He's already got his Death Cap. He's got a Rylai's Crystal Stepper. I haven't played Kennen in it's maybe been 6 or 7 months. I used to really love Kennen. Right when he came out, I played him for a whole bunch, and every now and then I'll play him every couple of games. He is a lot of fun. But he does have that one issue, as all energy casters do, is that he can come in, he blows his load, and then he's kind of out of it.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately, and unfortunately there aren't any good runes for energy regen. It's really just not worth it. So
yeah, those runes are not good. Unfortunately, here we have Nasus coming in. He tries to tank the tower. We decide not to follow him, which is probably a good idea, as Akali comes in, TF comes in, Nasus, he's slowed. I pop my ultimate, boom, double ult in Redican's face. We did a nice job of kiting that TF. He takes a lot of damage. He just does not have any armor, as I have to flash away, and then Nasus has finally popped his ult, which lets Kennen come in. He gets Malphite ulted, but it's just not enough, as Poppy also comes in, and then we take down Malphite, and just a really nice set of circumstances for us there, as the other team did a fine example of chasing too much.
Yeah, and that's a common problem. People will set their eyes on a target and chase them to the end of the map, and that ends up getting you 4 deaths and no kills, and losing at least 1, maybe even 2 towers.
Yeah, it looks like they're probably going to lose too. I wasn't even watching that, but looks like Poppy chased down Mr. Crocodile and took him down. As me and Ness and Kennen are dealing with this, as we lose they lost 2 towers. They got aced. Just a terrible situation. They really wanted to kill that Nasus, and newsflash, you can't kill Nasus.
No, at no point was that Nasus ever really in danger of dying. He just had most of his HP, pretty much most of the fight, at least as far as I could tell, and was able to get in there and do a lot of damage with his Q and his other moves. So, good job. He did an excellent job. He did exactly what tanks need to do: be up in the business and really get the team to focus them.
Yeah, exactly. And they chased him down, and then Akali tried to get on me. She tried to get on you, but you and I, we had our flashes. We were hiding them. We're doing a good job. Oh, well, and there's actually a surrender vote. They just didn't like how that last team fight going down. I don't feel like they needed to surrender. I mean, they could have easily turned this game around, but it can be really demoralizing sometimes to lose a chase fight like that. And there's the victory.
Well, if they were arguing amongst themselves towards the end of the game, then they should have surrendered. If they were just kind of boo-hooing about losing that team fight, then I feel like maybe they did it prematurely. But
yeah, so sometimes, just a little note: there was no jungler. Very unorthodox game. Sometimes that's what you see. It can be a lot of fun. Do you have anything to add?
I do just want to point out, for those of you who are unfamiliar with League of Legends, we will be coming out very soon with a bit of a at-home learning series for you guys to get familiar with the game, understand some of what's going on, and be able to follow better in these LOLCasts.
Oh, excellent! I'm very much looking forward to that. Maybe I can learn a thing or two. So let's wrap this up here. We'll do the outro, bringing up the heart slide. If you like what you see here, go ahead and subscribe. Click on the center of the heart. We've got our LOLcast playlist. We've also got Star Wars: The Old Republic playlist. We've got TROLLCAST, which are hilarious. Everyone seems to like them very much. I love them. So go ahead and subscribe. If you want to join us in LOL, click down below. You can join us for free. We do play games with the community every now and then. Make sure to like us on Facebook to find out when we're doing those. We do enjoy those very much. Pulling up the banner of our sponsor here, mensclothing.org. Or just a great guy, loves FTW broadcasting, loves StarCraft, just a fan of ours, wants to help us out. We're enjoying our sponsorship with him. He's letting us buy new equipment. We're investing everything back into the channel, so click on that link to support him and support us indirectly. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on Summoner's Rift.